always, please raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. Start up here in front with Daryl.
Yes.
John, down in the Bahamas, you said this team needs to be down by 10, needs to shoot 35%, so we can learn. So exactly what did you
Well,
learn?
you need to be up 9 and then go in down at half. You need all that stuff. And first of all, you got to give UCLA credit in how they played and what they did. I mean, what Leaf did, basically dominated the game. We had no one, unless I was going to go big lineup, which we haven't done a whole lot, which shows me maybe we have to be prepared for that. But he killed us. Straight line drives, rebounds, making shots. We left him a couple times. He played. They also played to their strengths. Now, we turned them over a bunch, got a lot more shots than they did. But, you know, when we had our chance down 7, turnover, dunk, give up a 3. All within 13 seconds. All discipline. So for us, this wasn't about offensively. This is, we gave up 10 threes, and I'm guessing 6 of them we left a shooter. And all we talked about for 2 days is the one way they're going to beat us is bouncing it. They're not beating us shooting standing threes. And I'm guessing 6 of them were maybe 7, plus the one right before half, which you got to give it to them. That was a heck of a shot. But you know, this is a lesson for us. You know, and we didn't have the energy. I didn't call a timeout a minute into the game. I mean, it wasn't the same team. How about this one? We had 16 assists. Why didn't we pass it today? Because it was national television. It's my time. Well, we all look bad. So, you know, there are great lessons out of this. I wish we'd have come back and won. I would have liked to have learned from that lesson a little bit more. But sometimes you need to get hit on the chin, especially at home. And they, you know, Steve and the staff, they were ready. You know, we missed a lot of layup, one-footer stuff, but it all comes back to the same thing. We didn't have discipline defensively. We just didn't. We fouled on drives instead of giving them space. Now all of a sudden you put them to the foul line when, you know, when they were having a tough time scoring. But I got to give credit to them to come into this building. Now it's 12:30, it's 9:30 their time. To come in and do what they did to us, and they manhandled us. They physically manhandled us, and you don't see that very often, especially in this building.
We kept asking you some when you're winning these blowouts. Is it hard to convince these guys that it's going to be tough? Is it a little easier to go back and coach next practice now that they've, as you say, taken one on the chin and they a little realize?
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, you know, first of all, they've got to be. You know, you got to watch the tape, and then you got to be. You can't be delusional. You got to know. You know, we let them out battle us. We didn't have the energy that they had. Now they got to figure out why. See, I talked 2 days about you have to figure out what makes you go, because every game we play is someone's Super Bowl. Every game may not be fair, but you're here, and that's how it is. So we had some guys I don't think were ready to start the game. They just weren't, or their team was more ready than our team. I like the fact we didn't give up, we kept fighting and all that, but you know, you can't make a run and then have a turnover, dunk, give up a 3, 5-point play in 12 seconds. You can't do it. You can't do it to your teammates. And it was just, again, a disciplined play. I'm not going to try anything fancy. We're going to get a basket and be down 5. And that's just a learning experience.
Jerry.
John, you talked about close games, see who can do it, who can't. Did Malik show you something about that?
Yeah, he did some things at the end that he's not afraid to make baskets. But even then, we broke down. Again, discipline. We were trying to do something, and a guy just said, well, I'm going to do this. And that happened late. So these are all lessons about if you're going to win at the highest level, like playing UCLA or any other top 10 team, you can't break off stuff. You've got to do what your job says you do, and especially defensively. The fight for balls, not a whole lot you can do. I mean, they just, you know, they outfought us. they came up with balls that normally we would get, and some of it were our hands are on it, their hands are on it, and they got it. They out-rebound us, and you know, I didn't realize Wenyon had 5 offensive rebounds until the game ended, but you know, I thought defensively, again, trying to, you know, that position, he and Derek, you got to be able to guard that guy. I mean, and like I said, that wasn't a problem for us, but it was more than that. It was more than 1 or 2 guys. It's everybody, and it's all of us, and including me. Obviously, we weren't as ready as they are. That comes back to me. I decided not to have a shoot-around. I'm not making an excuse. That was my choice. If I had to do it over again, now that I see the result, I would have had a shoot-around this morning. I just felt maybe they were mature enough to do this, and I'm learning about this team.
After Ball hit that 3 at the end of the first half to give them the lead, what happened at the beginning of the second half there? They went on that 11-2 run. That kind of gave them control, a couple of those plays of relief.
I'm going to have to watch all the tape. There's a lot of possessions here. You're asking me about 5 possessions. I can remember the 2 that bothered me the most. The throw ahead for a layup, stolen dunk, and the 3 back-to-back. But, you know, again, if I remember right, we missed some shots. We missed a layup. We missed a lot of 1 foot, you know, and again, was it, you know, the environment that we're just not used to? And now guys got to go back and just say, man, look, we know it doesn't work this way. And but they came after us. I ran a play to end the half, and it ended up with Wenyon at the 3, and that was my mistake. We shouldn't have. As soon as I saw he was open, I said, why did I run that? Put him near the baseline and let him do something. And then they come down and he makes that 3. We went from up 1 to down 4 at halftime, and that's, again, me still learning about these guys and what we can do. But, you know, Bam missed some dunks. You know, dunk the ball, man. Why are you laying it? I mean, but he made his free throws. Other guys, Malik's not getting fouled enough. He's trying to avoid the contact and flip balls. You got to get fouled. And no free throws. Come on, get to the line. I told him at half I wanted him to get to the line 10 times. Obviously, we're going to have to work on that and show him what that means. There are no flips at that point. You're going to get fouled. I'm going in here to get fouled. Maybe I make an and 1, but I'm not shooting a step back, fade away, flip, left-handed scoop. I'm not doing that. So we got some work to do with this.
Cal, as you guys struggled a little bit defensively inside, did Isaac show you a little something weird?
Isaac did all right today. I thought Isaac did all right. You know, they didn't hurt us in the pick and rolls as much as I thought they would. They hurt us just driving the ball. And then we come off. Now they made some tough shots, but they're a good team. They're going to make some tough shots. But I do know this: if you give them a catch and shoot 3, they're making that. And we knew that going in, and we gave a bunch of those.
2 more. Bonnie's in the back.
John, right here. It appeared to me that perhaps your team may have been playing a little tentative in the second half. Didn't like the aggressiveness of the way they were playing appeared to be there. Can you comment on that?
Well, I don't know if, you know, again, I watched the tape, but I just think that, you know, we didn't pass the ball like we had been. I mean, there were a bunch of opportunities for us to pass we didn't make. Told them after the game, you can't play that way. You all look bad. And, you know, if we'd have made extra passes, maybe had easier shots, maybe it would have been a little different. But, you know, it's the first time on this stage with a team like this, the national television, we're starting 4 freshmen, and, you know, kind of showed at times. I think it was more defense than it was offense, to be honest. We got 80 shots, you know, could have made a few more, but, you know, when you think about the shots we missed, I'm going to guess 8 of them were at the rim, and we missed them, like 8. So when you look at, we shot 80, it would have been a 50% shooting night if we just made the ones that were 2 feet.
Last one in the back.
Coach, was the team illnesses a factor in this game?
Was the what?
The team illnesses?
No, had nothing to do with anything. No, the factor in the game is they played better than us and they played harder than us. They had more fight than we had. They made some shots when we missed some shots, but the reality of it is we are a defensive team. And we walked into this game thinking we're just going to try to score. And I had a bunch of guys play that way. And that's why they had what they had at halftime. Just, okay, it's okay on an out-of-bounds play to give them a layup. Like they had 2 of those. What? That, is where we got to go with this. But again, these are all lessons, and that's why you play a season. And the great thing about college basketball is you'd like to learn from close wins, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. You got to learn from a loss, and that's what we're trying to do.
Thanks, everyone.